Life can be a pinch, believe me. From navigating romantic relationships, friendships, figuring out how to use the bathroom alone for once, mommies know the deal on this, to adjusting to all those changes because of this pandemic. Sometimes you just need to catch a break, and I'm right there with you. Hi, I'm Whitney B. Rochester, and this is the She Knows It podcast, a 30-minute sit-down and unwinding session to unravel your mind and your heart. If you're new here, welcome to this judgment-free space. If you're a returning listener, thanks so much for coming back. Follow me on Instagram at sheknowsit.podcast or sending your comments, feedback, or advice questions to sheknowsitpodcast@gmail.com. Let's get into it. It's Tuesday, it's 5 p.m., so you know what time it is. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the She Knows It podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about sex. Now, this is my favorite topic. I could sit down for hours and talk about it because of the complexity, because of the niceness, both the activity and the topic, and because of how diverse it is. You know, before I continue though, let me just say that this episode is not for persons below the age of 18 as at today's date. I know that people consider, matter of fact, legally in Jamaica, the age of consent is 16 years old, but 16 to me, you're still a child. And so this space, this conversation today is not for anybody below the age of 18. All right, now that we have that out there, let's get down to the business. So I'm of the view that God created sex for two reasons, basically. For recreation and procreation. Now, if you agree, let me know in the comments section below, or if you disagree, let me know what your thoughts are. But I think that God created sex for us to be fruitful and multiply. But based on the last episode where we talked about labor and childbirth, you see, labor pain alone would have made me nobody want to do the procreation part. But hello, let me talk about the recreational part of sex. It is amazing. It's wonderful. I think God was showing off. God was being a little bit extra when he created sex, because remember, I tell you, it is the spice of things. All right? It is the spice of things, so much so that I think it is multidimensional. It has so many aspects, and it plays such a big role into how society operates. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. But I want to ask you guys, why are you having sex? Now, you don't have to comment if you don't want to, but think about it for a second. Why are you having sex? Why are people out here having sex? What kind of sex are people out here having? Based on what I have read, based on what I have observed, because I've been here, been around the block, you know, I've been about the place, and based on what I'm seeing, people are having sex for so many reasons you would not believe. People are bored and lonely. People are doing casual sex because, you know, many people want to fill a void of based on childhood trauma, based on, you know, relationship issues. So there are several things. People are having revenge sex. People are having all careless kind of sex too, if you know what I mean. The other day I'm scrolling through Instagram, and I saw a post where a girl was saying that she drunk, and she and her best friend boyfriend go out to, you know, have drinks and them get drunk, and they try them the threesome, and now she pregnant, and she don't want to tell her best friend, and she don't know how she gonna tell her boyfriend because and so careless sex, I think the root of careless sex is boredom and loneliness. I guess careless sex now is one of them things the way puts people into some predicament where some of them kind of unreversible or irreversible, pardon my grammar. So you find yourself in situations now where you are either pregnant or you end up acquiring STDs and STIs. So there are several reasons why people are out here having sex. And if you think about it, ask yourself, why am I having sex? For me though, me being a married woman, I absolutely love it. It is fantastic. All right? But you see, for me, one of my favorite things about sex is that I get to enjoy it. I get to share this very intimate and very personal and very special part of myself with somebody who loves me and enjoys me as much as I do them, which leads me to another part of my thoughts, which is saying basically to me, okay, so now that we establish why we have sex, me, because I love it. I absolutely love it. And I love it and I enjoy it. Why are you having sex? The next thing is, who are you having sex with? You like them? Do they like you? Do you know them? Do they know you? You know, it's one of those things where you question now that, okay, so now that I know why I'm having sex, and all right, do I know this person? Do I like this person? If you are in a relationship, married or casual, or even serious, serious relationship, if you should subtract sex from the relationship, would it be a relationship? Would it be a relationship? When I was younger, I was dating this guy, and I mean, as somebody who did really and truly like, I don't know if it was just infatuation or if whatever, but me and him was getting into things, and one day with a reason, and him say to me, well, what are we? Normally a woman asks them question there, but this guy came right out and him say, what are we? I say, what you mean? And him say, we now have sex, so we in a relationship or not. I say, but I don't think I'm ready for sex yet at this stage in the relationship. I think at that point we were like 2 months in, and him say, well, him don't know, because to him, based on all of his previous relationships, sex was like what really dignified or distinguishes the relationship from a friendship. And so if you are one of those persons who think that way, let me know in the comment section below. If you're listening from YouTube, let me know on my Instagram page if you're following from all of the other major platforms. But if you should take away sex from your relationship right now, would it still be a relationship? Obviously, if you're married, it's supposed to be a staple. You're supposed to enjoy. You're supposed to bum flick. You're supposed to do the things, and you're supposed to break up some of the things you want for your dress. I mean, it's different for everybody, and everybody like the wild and the ruggedness and the roughness. But you're supposed to be having sex in your marriage. You're supposed to be enjoying yourself and doing the do, because based on Hebrews 13 verse 4. God really did say the marriage bed is undefiled, and so for me, that means there no holes are barred. There is no boundary. You're supposed to be really recreating. You're supposed to have fun. You get what I'm saying? But then you see, a lot of people get trapped into situations where they are married to people that they don't necessarily like. A lot of people, especially, check this, in the church, a lot of young people who are dating, and I'm not bashing church folk, I'm not bashing you if you are in a relationship like this right now, but if a lot of persons from the church don't like each other, but because they want to get away or get rid of the guilt that comes with sex outside of marriage, they end up getting married. And then you know what happens after that? After the bunny rabbit stage, where you boom flick, as I say, and you do all of the things them, you buy a lingerie, you put candle in the house, you set the tone every night, and not even just nighttime, all in the daytime too. You can't get enough of it. After that stage has passed, sometimes now sex feels like it is a chore, and because you see, in marriage, and not all the time you go want sex and for do all of the extra things. But then for many people, as I'm saying, I don't want to stray away from the point. For many people, who get married because they want to get rid of the guilt of fornication or premarital sex, whichever way you slice it is fornication. They end up, they end up not liking each other. They don't know enough about each other. It was just a phase they were going through, and so they end up living like brother and sister in the house because they not like each other, and that opens a can of many issues. Adultery, they want to find somebody else for them can light up a fire or a spark with again, and so and so many other things. Whereas for me, because it is so personal and my emotions are attached to it, because you see, for women in particular, and let me know if I lie, me I tell her, me I be extra, or me no know what me I say. Let me know in the comments. Send your feedback to me at sheknowsitpodcast@gmail.com. But for me, for women, based on my observation, we are emotional. And so we tie a lot of our emotions to sex. So while for males, it's just, well, some males, it is a physical caveat, it is a physical thing. Them just come and that's it. For females, actually, we put our heart, our soul, our mind into it. And that's why when we have sex, and for a lot of females cry when them having sex or done have sex because they just feel so caught up in the moment of it all. I've done that before. Hello, I'm raising my hands. If you have cried before after you have had sex because it is just so, Jesus, it's just so good, let me know in the comments, or you can send me a private DM because everybody needs to know your business. But yeah, women are emotional beings, and we tie our heart and our soul into it. And so because of that, because I know how much stay, to me there are no limits in the context that my kind of sex is undefiled according to Hebrews 13, as I said before. No, it is something I have to thoroughly enjoy. And this is gonna strike a nerve for men, which this is not your podcast. This is for females. No boys allowed, but if you're there already, stay, don't go anywhere, because I'm gonna drop some bombs for you now. It's something that we have to enjoy, and it's a shared experience. So as I was saying earlier, a lot of people are engaging in sex and sexual activity, and it is one-sided. It is only for the male. So you find that men are falling asleep after them come one time, or the first time, or after 5 minutes. And for those who are not in Jamaica, who are listening now, come means having an orgasm or reaching the pinnacle, the climax of sex. It's where you feel like your soul will leave your body, and you just, oh my, it's like an outer body experience. Alright? So many men, when them reach for them climax, they roll over, they lay down, they go to sleep, and that's it. And the female now, in a fear head, rolling her eyes, because this man really can't be serious. This man can't be serious. After I buy all of the lingerie and I down my body and I do all of the shaving and, I set myself, and then you come now for 5 minutes and that's it. Another thing is that many women exist in relationships where sex is lackluster and unfulfilling. Yes? Lackluster mean you don't look forward to it anymore. Lackluster mean and unfulfilling mean when him ask you, you just feel like, Jesus, you don't want to do this because it's not something that you are enjoying. So this is a word for the men. Size matters if it is matched by the right stamina. Okay? The cliche to that is, size matters. Well, to me actually, size matters and it doesn't matter. Because you can be beautifully endowed and you don't know how to use what you're beautifully endowed with. And then you have some men who are less than average, but them know how to do them thing, because they know that it's not just the daggering and the digging out and all of that. It's really learning how to satisfy. Yeah, I had to pause because that is very important. It's really knowing and understanding how to satisfy the physical desires of a female. Now, that means you know which part to touch. You know how to say the things them, in what tone of voice you say them, the volume, the way how you say it. You know which part to use. Oh gosh, this is getting really X-rated, but you know how, you have the know-how and how, because it's not just putting your penis into the female's vagina. It's not just that. It's also knowing where on her body to feel, at what point you feel them, at what point you whisper in her ear and give her the deep baritone voice, and you're really pleasing her, because women think about these things after the act. 2 weeks later, we still remember that day there, when, or the night there, when we did do with X or Y or Z. So you know, not because you have a big thing, it means that you have it locked. No sir, you don't. Not all the time, at least. And then you see, with that, it don't matter if you know it does. Right, the size, Jesus, I was fumbling. The size don't matter if you don't know what to do with it. Because you see, there are some men who are more blessed than others. Because they're more blessed than others, them feel like, say, it is an invitation to dig out women's tripe or dagger out the uterus. And you see, sometimes you're there and you hear she moaning, and men, I hope you're still here. Don't run away now. You're there and you go on and you catch your breath and you hear the moaning. It's not moans of pleasure actually. It's moans. She want you stop now. She want you to stop. She want you to get up off of her. Because as I said, it's a shared experience. And sometimes when there are women, who actually like the roughness. And the roughness is not all the time it's bad. It's not a bad thing all the time, because variety is the spice of life. We don't want just the mama, papa, and that's it. Vanilla sex is not always the preferred sex. Sometimes we like roman reigns, sometimes we like chocolate, sometimes we like pistachio, switch it up sometimes. But the daggering right through and the digging out people trachea and the digging out people intestines, that not gonna work all the time, because listen, we need our bodies to be attended to softly at times, and we need it to be attended to roughly at times. You know what I mean? But you see, the thing is, it can't be painful all the time. It can't be painful all the time, and I think that comes from men who grew up as boys, basing their experience, I'd say, basing their knowledge on pornography, which is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And that's why I was saying that sex is a diverse thing, because multi-billion-dollar industries come from it, from the topic, from it itself, right? So many men believe that sex is supposed to be rough and sex is supposed to be one-sided. So them alone supposed to do all of the enjoying, because when they were growing up, they grew up on porn. And porn, by the way, has been the blueprint and standard for some men, at least many men, when they are having sex. And pornography, and not bashing nobody's hustle, and not bashing anybody's thing, but listen, pornography, and if you agree with me, you can let me know in the comment section below. If you're listening from YouTube, please like this video, share it, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when a new episode drops. Alright, thank you, please. Alright, so pornography is not real. It's real people doing real sex, but it's not. It's loveless, it's emotionless, and people just do it because they want to make the money from it. And also, and if you ask a lot of these girls who do porn, it's not because them love it neither, or because them can make the money, as I said, to go home and take care of their kids or their parents or them family on a whole, or even themselves. So it's not something that is filled with love and laughter. You know what I mean? So right, so porn is not something that men or women even should base sex from. Because to me, Eric Jerome Dickey, may his soul rest in peace. For those who don't know, Eric Jerome Dickey was an erotica author. Yeah, he wrote erotic novels, and in one of his books he said sex without love is violence, and that is what I believe too, which leads me to another point, that you see, sex is one of the things that and the desire to control is one of the things that I believe has caused a lot of the ills that exist currently in society. So you have men who believe that a woman's body belongs to them. So if an of them, a dagger them, as a lot of them say, no other man not supposed to go there. And you see, if you are one of those men and you are still listening, the blood of Jesus is against you. Because as far as I know, a penis man born with and women born with vagina, you do not own us. You get what I mean? And another thing as well, the motivation behind rape is a need for control, is a need to prove a point that sex, them have to get it. And you're not entitled to me. So as I say, if you're one of them man that will listen now and you feel like, say, the blood of Jesus is against you. Right? So many people base sex on, and I think you don't have to agree with me. You can agree, you can disagree. Let me know what you think in the comments. But a lot of the societal ills that currently exist is for sex. Men rape because they want to prove a point. Men rape because one of the reasons why men rape is because they want to control. And them kill off the people, they kill women because they feel as though, okay, if me can't have you, nobody not supposed to have you. You understand? Another thing is, in music, even in music, sex has become something that is a staple. As they say, sex sells. So back in the day, even dancehall music, hip hop and R&B music, where a lot of the talk is mostly concentrated. If them not sing about daggering, and if them not sing about stabbing out people all, and if them not sing about sex, it doesn't sell as much, and it goes in retrospect as well, or correlation with violence and gun violence. But we're not talking about that right now. That's for another conversation. So sex sells in the music industry. And another thing too is plastic surgery. So a lot of women in particular, I'm not necessarily sure the extent for males, but plastic surgery is a big industry where people will risk their lives and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars just so that they can adjust or enhance their sex appeal. They want to look sexier for other people. They want to make a point that, them can get them body done and them supposed to look like Barbie, because nobody don't want to look like Coca-Cola bottle shape anymore. And actually, you see what we think, when we say certain things, you actually know what. Look at a Coca-Cola bottle. Me don't want shape like Coca-Cola bottle, but at the same time, I'm not gonna do plastic surgery to enhance anything. Not bashing you if you're doing that. That's you. Whatever floats your boat, my darling. But I'm just saying, sex is so diverse. It affects a lot of things that happen in society. But my main point, my main thing is that when you're having sex, first of all, we need to understand why we have sex. Me know why me have sex, because I love it. I love it, and I love my husband, and he enjoys me, and I love him as much as he loves me. You know what I mean? Why we have sex? Why are you having sex? Who are you having sex with? You like sex? You like it? Do you like it? Do you like the person you're doing it with? And if you're gonna get married, sex is something that people supposed to have when they're married. You know what I'm saying? But if a sex alone, if getting married because you want to get away from the guilt of fornicating, because a lot of people do premarital sex and fornicate, you should really reconsider, because after a while, all you're gonna be left with is the person standing in front of you or sitting in front of you or opposite of you, and you don't know enough about them and you don't like them enough, and so it now becomes a problem because you're gonna pass through the honeymoon phase, and all the time you're gonna want to have sex. I can tell you that. Another thing too is sex is supposed to be fun and enjoyable. As something where it's supposed to be a shared experience of fun. Two are we supposed to climax. The two are we supposed to enjoy ourselves. And so if we're not enjoying ourselves, then that means something is wrong and we need to take a step back and do an assessment of what is really going on. Because I am supposed to be liking it just as much as you are supposed to be liking it. Alright? So this is where we have to stop for today. However, I want to give a big thank you before I go to everybody who tuned in from YouTube. Please like this video, comment on it, your thoughts on this episode, give me a feedback, let me know, what else we can talk about, because this is our little circle. This is our little girl chat. Please also subscribe, and hit the notification. I'm extra. Hit the notification bell so that you'll be the first to know when a new episode is uploaded every Tuesday at 5 p.m. I want to say also thank you to everybody who tuned in from Spotify, Deezer, Google Podcast, or Pocket Cast, or Anchor FM. If you want to spice up things in the bedroom, because we're all about that. As I said, variety is the spice of life. You're looking for lingerie or comfortable sleepwear, visit something_sexy_lingerie on Instagram. So in long and short, something sexy lingerie for all your sexy needs. Alright? Also, for skincare, say glowing skin is in, and we're all about self-care in this panorama. So, skin_care_essentials_by_Jamie. So, skincare essentials by Jamie is the plug. Papaya, turmeric, coffee, tomato scrubs do the exfoliating work for you. She's very reasonable. Check her out. Something skincare essentials by Jamie. Finally, for your car rental needs, if you're looking to purchase an affordable car, if you're looking for somebody who will import and bring in a vehicle for you, or just airport, hotel pickup and drop off, then visit drive_876.ja on Instagram for that kind of service. Thank you so very much, so much. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining. It was my pleasure sharing my thoughts today on my favorite thing to talk about. And I will see you all next week.